So what is up amigos, hope you're doing awesome. Revenge is one of the most universal emotions in storytelling. It fuels some of the most intense, gripping narratives where the protagonist loses everything and is left with only one purpose: vengeance. Demon City, now streaming on Netflix, a Japanese film, takes this classic formula and strips it down to its rawest, most brutal form. Directed by Seiji Tanaka, the film follows a legendary hitman who wakes up from a 12-year coma, robbed of his family and past life, and sets out on a relentless path of retribution. It's a story that could fit right into the world of revenge sagas we've seen before, but Demon City has its own way of telling it, without the excessive drama, without emotional outbursts, and with barely any dialogues. It's cold, it's methodical, and it's filled with some of the most brutal action sequences in recent memory. But does it deliver as a compelling revenge thriller, or does it feel too hollow for its own good? Let's break it down. So the story begins with Shuhei Sagata, played by Toma Ikuta, a once feared hitman whose life takes a tragic turn when a masked criminal organization, Kimengumi, wipes out his family. They frame him for the crime, ensuring that he loses everything in one stroke. But rather than just killing him, they leave him in a near-death state. A bullet to the head puts him in coma for 12 years, during which the world moves on and his enemies continue to thrive. When he finally wakes up, there's no fanfare, no emotional reunion, just an empty existence. And once he finds out his daughter is alive, an unshakable need for revenge. What follows is an unrelenting journey through Shinjo City's underworld, where Sagata tears through those responsible, one calculated step at a time. Now this setup feels familiar, like something we've seen in classic revenge dramas, where the hero comes back stronger after years of suffering. But where Demon City differs is in its execution. There are no long monologues about pain or justice. Sagata isn't a man who announces his return with dramatic dialogues. He doesn't shout or cry or explain his rage. He simply moves forward and the film lets his actions do all the talking. It's a slow burn, but every moment is charged with tension, making you feel the weight of every punch, every step, and every kill. Now, Toma Ikuta delivers an intense, brooding performance as Sagata. Unlike traditional action heroes who often rely on verbal outbursts or visible frustration, Ikuta plays Sagata with complete restraint. His expressions, his body language, and the sheer weight of his silence do more than words ever could. He's a man who has lost everything, and rather than drowning in grief, he turns into a force of destruction. There's a stillness to his presence, a feeling that he has nothing left to lose, and that makes his every move unpredictable. The villains in Demon City aren't larger than life, mustache twirling masterminds. They don't taunt the hero with exaggerated evilness like many Bollywood antagonists do. Instead, they are cold, ruthless, and calculating. Masahiro Higashide plays Kantafashe, one of the key figures in the organization, and while he doesn't get a lot of screen time, he leaves an impression of someone genuinely dangerous. The supporting cast, while effective, never overshadows Sagata's journey. This is his story, and the film never lets you forget that. If there's one thing Demon City absolutely nails, it's the action. This isn't stylized, choreographed for visuals fight sequence like we see in Bollywood films like War or Singham. There are no gravity-defying kicks or slow-motion hero landings. Instead, the combat is raw, visceral, and brutally realistic. More like the recent Indian films Marco, Kill, and Fateh. Every punch lands with weight, every injury feels painful, and every kill is executed with precision rather than flair. The action sequences are designed to make you feel the exhaustion of the fights, not glorify them. The cinematography plays a crucial role in amplifying this experience. There are no flashy cuts or shaky cam distractions. The camera stays tight on Sagata, allowing us to witness every moment of his vengeance unfold. The lighting is moody and atmospheric, with Shingo City's neon-lit streets providing a striking contrast to the film's otherwise bleak tone. Unlike Bollywood revenge thrillers that often use background scores to enhance emotional beats, Demon City thrives mostly in silence. The absence of a dramatic musical build-up before a fight or an intense monologue before a confrontation makes the action feel even more unsettlingly real. There are some euphoric and metallic scores though, post a fight sequence or to show the evil might of the antagonist. Talking about the tone and pacing, this is where Demon City may divide audiences. The film moves at a deliberate pace, allowing moments to breathe rather than rushing from one action sequence to another. For viewers accustomed to fast-paced, dialogue-heavy revenge thrillers, this might feel slow or even cold, but that's the point. The film doesn't want to make revenge look exciting or larger than life. It wants you to sit with its protagonist's pain and let it sink in. It's a stark contrast to Bollywood revenge films that often add dramatic twists, emotional backstories, and romantic subplots to soften the narrative. Here, there's none of that. The world is cruel, the past cannot be undone, and the only thing left is retribution. That being said, the pacing does drag in certain portions. Some sequences linger for a bit too long, and while the film's commitment to realism is commendable, a little more urgency could have made the journey feel even tighter. At its core, Demon City is about vengeance, but it doesn't romanticize it. It's not about justice or closure, it's about survival. Unlike Bollywood revenge dramas where the hero often gets redemption, closure, or at least a triumphant moment, Demon City is more about inevitability. Sagata's journey isn't about winning, it's about seeing things through no matter the cost. The film plays with the idea that revenge might not heal anything, it might just be the only thing left to do. This minimalistic storytelling approach is both the film's greatest strength and its biggest risk. For those who appreciate subtle, intense narratives that rely on visuals over words, this will be a deeply satisfying experience. But for those who prefer a more emotionally expressive, fast-moving revenge thriller, it might feel too detached. So if you're looking for a raw, stripped-down revenge film with brutal action, Demon City is absolutely worth watching. It's a different take on the genre, more grounded, more immersive, and more focused on mood rather than spectacle. It's not your typical action thriller where the hero walks away victorious with a triumphant background score. It's cold, unflinching, and unapologetically dark. If you're used to the Bollywood's more dramatic, emotionally charged revenge sagas, this might feel like a drastic shift, but that's what makes it interesting. It's a film that respects its audience enough to let them absorb everything without over-explaining. Whether you love it or find it too slow, one thing is certain: Demon City doesn't hold back. It's streaming now on Netflix India, so watch it and let me know in the comments. Do you prefer your revenge thrillers loud and dramatic or silent and brutal, more like the recent Indian films Mako, Kill, and Fateh? Please hit like if you enjoyed this breakdown and share this video if you could. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get all things cinema on our channel. Until next time, stay cinematic, take care, and bye-bye.